I don't have kids and I don't want any, so he's probably somewhere in the age of between like 8 and 12. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, he's a small human.
This dude starts eating pretzels.
Oh.
While he's puking?
Right after he gets done puking. And my wife was like, "Why the hell is he eating pretzels? He's gonna puke all over us."
Did he puke up the pretzels?
He puked up everything. I think he puked up his own shit. He was like,
I would have thrown up everywhere.
it was seriously was disgusting.
That is the actual.
So
worst.
your plane ride was good.
No.
Welcome to episode 4. Scaryitches. You've heard it here first, folks. We got puke on planes. We got spooky ghosts. We got, I don't know, what else we got. We have a special guest this time. Who is it?
That's
Amanda?
me.
That's you.
This is my twin sister came to visit from Florida.
Whoa!
Yo.
Hey,
Hey.
I would say Florida is one of the scarier states.
Yes, everything scary comes out of Florida.
Florida man.
You don't
Where
even know.
America goes to die.
Family in
I
Florida.
read the news every day and I'm like, what the hell? And now at this point, I'm just like, yeah,
What do you call
not as bad as it happened yesterday.
I've seen
What
that.
do you call it? God's waiting room?
Yeah, God's waiting room.
Yeah.
That's where everyone goes to die.
That's where I'm going. Right after this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you hear a fifth voice that you're unsure of, we have a
That's the third Lester.
we have a third Lester in the room that wants to be anonymous. Maybe.
No, I don't really care.
Okay. Actually, I can
So
hear
the
you pretty
third,
well.
my previous name, my previous known name,
Your maiden name.
my maiden name, if you will, was Lester, as in
Yeah, you don't need to say
You
that.
don't need to
Yep.
say it. It's just
people
Lester.
know. People know.
Courtney-
Hannibal Lester.
Courtney's like the lesser Lester.
Oh wow,
Like
harsh.
no, it's like a lesser bush baby. You know those things. Never mind. Through evolution, if things get smaller, they call them lesser sometimes
That's
because
true.
they're tiny.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
less
it
of
does
them.
take probably 6 of you to equal both of us.
That's true.
So, just being fair.
We did forget to do the intro song.
Oh,
Here it is.
And
Board
there she
all
goes.
broke.
How'd you already break it?
Why are you
The
laughing?
amount of white dancing in this room is illegal.
Yeah, because I was titty shaking everywhere.
Titty shaking.
Titty
Oh,
shaking all
man.
up.
And I have no titties, so it was,
Just shake it.
yeah, it was
It was
just
just-
kind of my
it was-
whole body was just like rippling.
Like a white man shimmy.
You
yeah,
you become the titty.
yeah.
Well, shit. This week has definitely not been low in amount of creepy, weird shit going on.
Yeah, nah.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Not as crazy amazing as our movie that we saw, Andrew.
Yeah, true.
But also some weird stuff happened this week.
With that whack ass shit you saw like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, it was
movie.
really.
Yeah, we don't need to revisit
No.
that.
Mhm.
I don't even know where to begin. Where should we begin?
Well, there's the happening that we had at the co-op. That was kind of spooky, but
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
I was off, in which I
Are we talking about the one that I
yeah.
Yeah,
I was there for?
Were we gonna open with that?
I know. This seems like every episode we talk about how one of us ate too much food. I just ate like 2 McChickens and medium fries, and I'm just like, "Bleh." It's really good.
Which totaled to 666, by the
666,
way.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll post the picture. It's
Weird
like
thing of the
deadass.
day.
I kept the receipt. I'll keep it for all time.
I also how like the drive-thru, we just immediately started screaming, just like
Like you could tell she didn't want to say it.
Yeah,
she was like, "That'll be 60."
and then you and then we both just started demon screaming into the fucking drive-thru. Yeah.
We get to the first window.
Yeah.
It's the same girl, and suddenly Liz's like, "Hi."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "That'd be 666." And
Well,
Liz's like,
it's-
"Ah!"
Well, because like she opened the window and she's like, "Okay, hi,
Yeah.
are you 2 McChickens?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
They way to ruin the mood, dude."
We're trying to be evil in this car.
You got 2 mixed Satans.
All right, yeah. So there's some shit that's been going on at the co-op. I think I'll save the bigger one for the Endy episode. So stay tuned. Or
Wait,
the-
there's 2 co-op stories?
Yeah, I don't know if you know about this other one. So it didn't happen at the co-op. My good anonymous friend, he told me like,
Wait, was this about the hospital guy?
yeah,
Okay.
this dude. I guess he friend. He was working on his lawnmower in his garage. Do you know where do they live in a place where it makes sense that somebody would be? Is it like a suburb?
I
You
mean,
know?
it's a main street, so their house is like not.
It's like right
I mean,
next
people,
to the road.
Yeah, Yeah,
Okay.
people walk through there, but it's not. It's a busy road, so
Okay.
it's not like
So it makes
there's
sense.
little kids biking and stuff in the road. And, no, it's like a pretty busy road.
Okay, so apparently this guy came up friend dressed in like a hospital gown.
With a hospital bracelet on.
Yeah, and I guess he just asked friend, he's like, hey man, you got a t-shirt? And friend is like, he's kind of just taken aback, like, what do you? I can tell you where to get one. Like, are you lost? Like, he didn't understand what was going on. He's like, no, man, whatever. And he was just like really dismissive. And
Yeah, and I think he was like,
walking away.
do you need help?
Yeah,
he was like,
him-
no.
He's like, no. And he just kept going. And then he saw, I guess, after he started walking a little bit, he started sprinting away. Friend is like, I'm calling the cops.
Oh
I
my
don't know what the fuck's going on.
God.
They called the cops, and he stayed on the phone with them. And the dispatcher was like, can you stay a safe distance away, but just like watch him until they get there? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he's just watching the guy, and he's sprinting away. And he said, suddenly, like, one cop car pulled out in front of him, and then another one pulled out behind him, and they both like converged on him at once. And he was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, and like tackled the dude. But I guess the
Whoa.
dude had escaped from the
He
hospital.
escaped from the hospital. Yeah,
Nuts swinging.
Yeah,
Nuts swinging in the
Holy
hot, humid
shit.
air.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just has the
I
gown
don't
on,
even
yeah.
know how to. I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah.
I couldn't even digest that. The one time.
How do you even tackle a guy like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with that. And he's in a gown, not like wow. The
I
only-
think he had pants on,
well, because okay, so one time,
for the record.
what's weird? Okay, maybe
His ass was not out.
so maybe the hospital is like dropping their game a little bit because so I work at Department of Social Services, right? So I had just gotten out of my car and this dude comes up to me and I was sketched out by him approaching me because it's the same guy who always asks me for a cigarette outside my house and I always tell him no. And he comes up to me and I immediately get cagey and he's like, no, there's a dude passed out over on the sidewalk. And I
Whoa.
look. It's one of my clients, but he's also wearing hospital scrubs and he's just laying on the sidewalk. And I'm like, oh God. And so I had to like call the cops and tell them,
Are you
I'm
like-
hey, so-and-so is here. Can you come get him?
Are you like, nah, I'm not at work right now. He's just chilling.
No, I couldn't do that.
You're like, I'm trying to air fry some shit right now.
Also, it's like I think some of my coworkers know where I live, so if they just like saw one of the clients like laying
Hanging
outside
out.
of my house and like I wasn't doing anything about it, they'd be like, "Really, Liz?"
Liz finally snaps.
Come on, you heartless bitch.
Yeah, I'd be like, "I ain't getting paid for y'all."
Wow, when did that happen?
That happened like only like 3 weeks ago.
Oh my
Nuts.
God.
Yeah, so that's why I'm
bonkers.
like somebody's like sleeping constantly and just like all these patients are just escaping out of the fucking hospital.
It's like the opening. Well, it's not the opening scene, but like the beginning of Halloween.
Oh
when
my God, all of them just leave.
The patients are just wandering around in the field in
That's
the
what-
rain at night.
Yeah, that's what CVPH is right
Yeah.
now.
Just a bunch of people escaping.
Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, I kind of always thought it was a little like that all the time,
Yeah. Pretty much.
except with like llamas.
Yeah.
Because they do, oddly enough, have like this tiny. It's not really a petting zoo.
It's
Oh,
more of
yeah.
like a viewing center
guess
with like two
yeah.
sad llamas
For
in it.
people
And
who
a lot
aren't
of
familiar.
ducks, and there's just duck shit everywhere.
All
everywhere.
over the
Gus,
place.
ducks and geese. Gus's.
Gus is Gus is red
Bunch
hot.
of-
I always want to go down in the morgue though. Like I always see like the sign for it. It's like morgue down this way. I'm like,
I'm like,
feel like-
why would you advertise that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if
Like
somebody needs to know-
I see it and I'm like,
not
Okay.
You would need to know where it was because if a body got picked up on the side of the road, when the
they'd say just come to the basement.
when the
You'd figure
when
it
the
out.
body truck comes and picks them up, they take them to the morgue, and then if you need to have somebody identify the body, so like somebody's like fucking random ass relative is gonna go there and identify you, they have to know where the morgue is, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
I accidentally-
I guess you're right.
yeah.
I was lost in the
I-
hospital, and
yeah.
I didn't like find myself in the morgue, but I found myself going in that direction, and I was just like, oh, geez, I'm definitely like not going the right place. I don't know where to go, but I keep getting closer to the morgue.
You just accidentally walk into the morgue. You're like, I
Every-
hate this. I hate this.
Like, get me out of here, please.
Every corner you turn, it says morgue.
Yes,
morgue,
and that's
morgue.
yes. That's I felt like, and then I turn around and it's morgue there, and I turn back around, it's morgue there. I'm like, how do I escape? I don't remember what I was doing there.
But you made it out.
There's actually
I think so.
an entrance by-
That might have been where I was. Yeah,
That
And I'm
would
like,
make
I've
sense.
never been here before. I was talking with Amanda's wife, PJ.
Amanda's
and we-
wife.
Amanda's husband. Excuse me. That took me a really long time.
It's okay. I'm gay.
The girls
yeah.
are
Me, yeah.
the
Yeah,
girls
happens.
are gay. The sisters are gay.
It's hard to keep track
The
of
gay
all these,
girls.
all these Lesters.
But not me.
Amanda's husband, PJ, and I totally forgot. I have this book, the Gordy Little
Yes.
Ghost of Clinton County.
That's a good book.
awesome.
Is it signed?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you
my
did
mom.
a signing way back in the day. Yep.
I think my mom, 2010. I think my mom, October 21st. That's It's 2 days after my birthday.
Whoa.
I think my mom got this because she used to work at the.
And 10 days before Halloween.
Whoa. She used to work at the college, so I think that he had a signing there. He's dead now.
Yeah,
Yep.
rest in peace, Gordy Little.
He's
Rip.
totally dead.
Which
so,
it was like kind of a mysterious death. I think he was like mowing his lawn or something and like fell in the river.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What, dude? I've never heard. Are you seriously pulling that out of your ass right now?
No, I thought he fell in the river.
I don't know if this
Maybe
is true.
he just.
I
Oh
think,
my God.
I think he was old.
No, I'm telling you. Okay,
Well,
come back to
maybe
me. Come
he
back
might
to
have
me.
been mowing his lawn, had a heart attack, and fell into the river.
It was something weird like that.
Is there a
So if
river
we-
next to his house?
Okay.
Sorry for that.
The scariest of
From
which.
my NBC 5,
5.
June 23rd, 2016.
That's my mom's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
A well-known Plattsburgh author and historian was found dead in the Saranac River.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Wow.
I don't.
That took a
Yep.
minute.
Rest in peace, Gordy. You guys ever meet him?
No.
I don't think so.
don't
My
know.
dad met him in his dreams once.
Yeah. When he was
What?
trying to quit smoking,
He was taking like a
no, he had the patch.
the patch.
Mm. He had a dream where he met
He was
Gordy
having
Little.
really horrible dreams, and I remember one specifically where he was like, "Gordy Little, get out of my house before I kill you."
Yep.
What? Oh my God.
Okay, to
Oh my
be
God,
clear, investigators said it appeared Little was gardening when he may have lost his balance and fell into the river.
Oh
and
my
he was
no.
found face
Yes.
down.
Yeah. Now
So
that
I
is
was
all
not
making
pulling that
sense
out
now.
of my ass. Thank you.
Ass glitter.
Just, Gordy, I told you not to make that garden right next to the river.
I
One
mean,
day you're gonna
that
fall into
river
that
is like
river.
really rapid. Like after the
Really
springs-
rabid.
Really rabid.
Did you guys? What was it on? Was it on Trash Cats where we talked about that guy who like yeeted that old man into a fucking
into a
ravine?
ravine?
That just made me think of that.
Yeah.
But
He
that's
just said
just heartless.
eat, and he just kept backing up until he fell into the river. Is that what happened?
Mowing his
Yeah.
lawn.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Oh, maybe he was weed whacking, and he was like, "Yee." And then
Oh,
he
jeez.
just ate it.
Oh, Gordy
totally-
Little.
Totally ate it.
All right.
I think it's time for a terrible tarot card reading.
Okay.
This will be. It's so cool that we get to have the transitions live.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
And we let Ashley shuffle the cards today.
Yes, we did.
And she picked because she is the guest.
The guest.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so it looks like she got the.
For the record, Ashley is terrified of tarot cards
Oh, great.
and like any sort of magic.
Anything related
I
to-
don't really like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
One time I had a girlfriend break up with me because of a tarot card reading.
I've heard that
Oh
story.
my God, really?
Yeah.
The
Amanda
tarot
read
card
her
reader was
tarot,
me.
Yeah.
and then boom, she broke up with me. And I
Wow.
was like, it took a while for her to tell me why she broke up. I mean, I don't think that's the only reason. I think that was like
Probably.
leading to underlying
So
problems.
now because of this, this is the last episode of the podcast.
Oh,
Hey.
no.
No, I'm kidding.
Look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, an owl.
Yeah.
So it's the Father of Swords.
Okay.
The Father of Swords is fair and analytical. Like all the Swords family, the Father has a gift for perception. He has a distinct ability to remove himself emotionally from a situation so that he can truly see it from all angles. He is therefore respected by others who usually describe him as fair or just. He is a responsible man with deep ties to his family.
Hmm.
So the two things that kind of stick out to me are the top quotes, which is the fair and analytical. So I think that's kind of, I don't know, they'll be like, we're storytelling, we're gonna dive deep into.
Welcome back to Scary Itches.
Welcome
Where we're
back
going to tell you about
Scary Itches.
scary stories.
It's gonna start talking about.
This
some
is
scary stuff.
Ghost Hour
Ghost-
on NPR.
Welcome.
Horror story ASMR.
Yes, thank you.
Oh God, I hate that.
Oh my God, would you guys still be my friend if I talk like this all the time? You need to suck.
Do you think
ass.
have pubes?
Liz yelled at somebody to suck her
Did you just
cunt.
ask me if I have pubes? I did scream at somebody to suck my cunt earlier.
That's amazing. But
it's-
no, I
what
said, do you think ghosts have pubes?
Probably. I don't know.
They
It
have ghost
depends.
pubes.
What kind of yeah? How does that work? Do you think ghosts? Yeah, if you die with
Yeah.
pubes, do you keep the pubes, or are you just like an anthropomorph? What's the blob?
I know what you're.
I
talking
don't know.
Yeah.
Like the movie The Blob?
Yeah. was
That
pretty
big
gross.
sciencey word,
Kills a lot of people.
like Slimer.
I had a girl come to the co-op and she was looking for diatomaceous earth, and
Yep.
she's like, "It's something tomo."
Diabolical Detomo.
Actually, can I just get a Mountain Dew?
Yeah. Sure.
Next door is Sub Shop.
Yeah, head on next door.
So does that card strike anybody in any particular reason?
I mean, I feel like
That kind of sounds like your wife.
I feel like I'm very analytical. I'm super over analytical, actually. And I would say I'm relatively pretty fair. Especially right now, my wife is kind of wants to go down the avenue of getting a commercial pilot's license.
Mm.
Ooh.
So like we've been sitting trying to figure that out together financially. So
Also, speaking of that, I've been going through a big thing where I'm like, I need to figure my life out. I need to start a career. And, I'm looking at options to leave the co-op, rip. So eventually that will happen. But I was talking to Liz about this the other day. And because it was the full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn, it affects Capricorns the most and Cancers, which Liz is.
And the
And
crab.
so is Claudienne. So Claudienne is going through this big,
She wants
quarter
to be a
life
pilot.
crisis.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Ashley's wife?
wicked.
Yeah.
that's my wife. Yeah.
And Claudienne is Quebecois, so
Quebecois.
and her parents' names are Claude and Diane.
So she became Claudienne.
Claudienne.
And she's a graphic designer. I mean, she loves graphic design, but she
Graphic design is my passion.
That's wicked though to get
Right.
she could start working for a drug cartel and smuggling stuff in.
I don't know if she does also know multiple languages, so maybe that could help her.
Dude, she would be the best drug smuggler on the planet.
Well, I mean, I don't think she's legally a citizen yet, so maybe you shouldn't say
Oh my
drug
God.
smuggling and Claudienne in the same sentence.
She is a permanent resident
Okay.
on
So
a
she
path
can
to
smuggle
citizenship
as much drugs as she wants.
in a couple months.
Yeah. A little bit more.
As
in a
long
couple
as it's
months, yeah.
legal.
All right, so I don't have a segue.
Are we gonna get in the stories?
Yeah, let's get
Story
into
time?
some.
Who's telling a story tonight?
You are, bitch.
Are you?
Nah, I ain't got a story.
I have one ready. It depends on how long
You have
yours
one?
takes.
Okay. So last week we talked a little
You guys
bit.
always forget about the transitions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which one did I do last time? I don't remember. Let's try this one. I like this
I just pictured keyboard cat.
Oh, like DJ Cat?
Yes.
Meow, meow, meow.
Rest in peace,
Rip.
Ken
Rip.
Cat.
Wait, did DJ Cat die?
Yeah.
Oh.
Shut the.
Yeah, man.
I think
a couple years
Grumpy
ago, I
Cat
think.
died too.
Yeah,
Grumpy
grumpy
cat.
cat.
Yeah, but Bubs is still alive.
Bubs
Yeah,
is
thank
still
God.
going strong.
Mhm.
And
Eating
on,
her yogurt.
Little Bub is on the Scoops or something, like a cat brand thing.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they
no,
got
no,
a
I saw
face.
it. Yeah, it was the
Aw.
kitty litter. Bubs is on it.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
little Bubs.
Well, speaking of cats,
Speaking of cats,
let's get into a well, kind of.
Speaking of dead cats,
We have a witchy story, don't we?
we do have a
That would
witchy
be more of a
story.
dog story.
I don't get it.
Like a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking, well, cats, brooms, witches,
that confused
potions.
the shit out of me. I'm like, witches don't
Yeah,
generally
actually-
have dogs.
to be honest with you, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, the Plattsburgh bitch. And I was like, oh, and then after I said that, I was like, oh, it's actually witch. So I kind of confused myself.
It's all right.
But now I didn't get it at first either. But
That's
now I
alright.
get it.
But now
Okay,
we're here.
it's
and that's
fine.
all that matters.
Okay, last week we talked about how for the Adirondacks being a big the Adirondack Park is huge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of small towns, and usually when you find a lot of small rural towns, you're gonna find a lot of lore. Well, this area doesn't have a whole ton of lore besides Champ, which is really just kind of nice and friendly and a friendly sea monster. Yeah. He's like
There's those couple 2-3 murders that happen here.
yeah,
three.
but like lore, I'm saying. Like folklore.
Like urban legends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No.
So my husband actually found this out for me one night when I was driving.
Your wife, PJ?
Yes.
My wife. I'm so sorry.
Am I
I
a
just
wife?
did that.
He is a feminine man, and you know what? He is proud of that.
As am I. Me and
So-
PJ relate on a lot of levels.
Yes, he is a wonderful man.
He'll be on the show.
He will be at some point, probably around Battle of Plattsburgh, telling a spooky tale
Ooh.
that he gives us. I'm trying to think of the word that he lets us tell
Oh, okay.
without having to edit it out.
That's too much inside
Anyway.
baseball.
Anyway, so he found this out. There is apparently a Champlain witch, which is
Get on the mic, you.
a Lake Champlain witch, because we're
The Lake City.
the Lake City. Plattsburgh is right next to Lake Champlain, obviously, and I had never heard this tale. Never heard the tale, but maybe it's because I'm not a mariner, I suppose. So Lake Champlain is surrounded by both northern New York and Vermont and stretches over 120 miles north to south, totaling 435 square miles. That's used throughout the entire year. Used by fishermen, paddlers, swimmers, people that are ice fishing in the winter.
Giant lake monsters.
Yeah, giant lake monsters, really dumbass people who drive their four-wheelers out there and trucks, and then they fall in the lake and they wonder why.
Do you guys remember when that Tesla burst into
Yep.
flames?
Yep. That was really weird. Did they ever find out whose that was?
No, but it's a new winter sport where you take a Tesla and you park it in the middle of Champlain and then you just set it on fire.
Oh, wow. Never
Yeah,
heard of that
it's
one.
really expensive.
Mhm.
I wonder
Fun
if
to
he
get
won
into.
first place.
Well,
Hope he
maybe,
did.
you know what? We should try to find out where it is and
The Tesla, yeah.
bring our magnets for magnet fishing and just pull that bitch up.
We could.
Go find me a Tesla.
You're gonna
Find
find
it?
me a couple 2-tree lures.
I did.
Big old Tesla.
And an old Tesla. And one old Tesla. Lots of other people use the lake. I'm sorry, I have really bad allergies. Okay, so people use the lake all year round. They swim in it, they fish in it, they do whatever you do that makes you happy while you're on the lake. So, the lake was once a major form of transportation for Native Americans and later European exploration and military conflict. There was a lot of there were quite a few wars in this area that, the lake played a big part in.
Oh, yeah.
So during the 1880s, while shit was getting started, people were getting settled, people were building cabins, having babies and shit, the lake served as one of the main ways of transportation of goods and materials, north, south, east, west, Beyonce.
What?
You get that one?
Oh, hey!
Her baby.
Mm.
Which now I can't remember if it's north, south, east, or west. Well, one of them.
Isn't it Northwest?
Yeah.
Oh, is
Okay.
that one of Kanye's kids?
I thought that was Beyonce.
No, Beyonce's Blue Ivy.
Yeah, Blue Ivy.
Yeah, but I thought Beyonce was married to Kanye.
No.
No.
Oh, shit.
She's
Anyways.
Jay-Z, dude.
Jay-Z.
Anyways, whatever, the waterways were hustling and bustling. People were settling their shit. They were hustling and bustling across the lake.
What were they doing?
Hustling and bustling.
Oh.
Hustle, bustle. Hustle, bustle.
You guys are making me laugh. I can't. They were hustling and bustling. Across the lake, which was hustling and bustling.
Oh, my God.
How many times are you gonna say that?
Which, for the record, if you lived along the lake, this is like how lame their lives were. I'm sorry.
They didn't even have fucking internet.
I literally wrote hustle and bustle again. Okay, so if you
So pretty much they were on the water and everyone was hustling and bustling.
they were hustling and bustling,
And their
left
favorite
right,
pastime
north and west.
was hustling and bustling.
So if you lived along the lake, all of these boats that were transporting materials, logs, foods, whatever it was, people.
Yeah.
If you lived along the lake, that was like your main form of entertainment. That's true.
Working?
When you weren't busy doing all the hustling.
When you
bustling.
When you were not hustling and
When you
bustling,
weren't hustling that bustle.
it was that you had like first row seats to prime entertainment.
Okay.
Imagine it's like people are going all over. It's like New York City, but Lake Champlain. They're like do 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 do.
So it's
Okay,
like our
sounds
county
fun.
fair, but on water.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Any hoozle. The bottom of the lake is home to over 300 shipwrecks, which we want to give a hot shout out to the Lake Champlain Maritime Museum for all of the hard work they have done, because without them, we would not know any of that. So I'm
Shout
saying
out.
if anybody is
Yo, props.
near the Maritime Museum, the Lake Champlain Maritime Museum, check it out. It's really cool.
Mm.
They've done a lot of really awesome work, and most of this, the shipwrecks that we know about, are because of them. So cool.
I went on
Thank
a
you.
field trip there when I was in
It's a really cool place.
elementary school. I got a.
I'm sure you didn't appreciate it at the time.
I
but
didn't care at all, but I got a really cool anchor keychain.
Cool.
I had it for a long time, then it broke.
They're very cool. If you're ever near there, check it out.
I asked Steph if she wanted to go because I just remembered that like yesterday, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Why the fuck would we go there?"
Come on, that's
That'd be
so
cool,
cool.
man.
Do you know how much cool history is in that lake?
I think
Apparently,
it'd be cool.
300 shipwrecks of history are
That's
in that
pretty
lake.
That's a
dope.
lot.
So many of the shipwrecks are there from commercial era, your front row entertainment seating, that time period when people were just, like there's
Hustling and bustling.
hustling and bustling. They were hustling and bustling.
Wait, no, what
and
is
they
the,
were
what do you mean commercial era?
from
Where
the
they were,
commercial when they were shipping a lot of stuff.
Oh,
like
got
trading
it.
beaver pelts, you know.
No, I think it was
Word.
a little past that,
Oh.
but it was more commercial goods.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
people are still trading beaver pelts, if you know what I'm saying.
I think they're making a comeback, but anyway.
Mhm.
So the shipwrecks are there from people. We get in car accidents. They got in a boat bumper fender bender.
They need to chill out on the hustle and bustle.
They were hustling and bustling way too fast,
Way too much.
and they sunk. But also there was, like I said before, there's a lot of military conflict on the
Can I
lake.
just fucking
Yes, Andrew.
the last story you told, everyone in fucking Lion Mountain was coming on everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now everyone
Now
here
everyone is
hustling and bustling.
Hustling and bustling. We should use that as a little extra sound bite. Hustle and
Hustle
bustle.
and bustling.
Hustle and bustle. We're hustling and bustling. That's the last time I'm saying it. I'm not saying it anymore. So a lot of the battles that happened and Lake Champlain was a big part of, there's a lot of shipwrecks from the military conflict as well. And some blame their demise on none other than the Champlain Witch.
I should get rid of that one. We use that on Trashcast. Anyways.
And no one knows where or when the story began, but it's common knowledge amongst, I didn't know this, but it's common knowledge.
Common Macaulay.
Macaulay Culkin. Okay, anyway, so it was common knowledge among serious long-term sailors, boaters, and even today. These people say and swear, by the way, that the lake is haunted by a vengeful witch. People say it could be either a mother or a lover.
Oh shit. Keep going.
A mother
How could she?
or a lover, but not a mother
Mother
lover, who lost a sailor to the lake years ago.
Oh.
The witch also gets credit for freak pop-up storms, waves, and other unusual on-the-water weather occurrences.
Interesting.
That often she is really associated with severe weather that ends in some sort of tragedy. So if it's like, just a crazy thunderstorm, if nobody died, I guess she didn't do it. But if somebody got hurt, she did it. She did it. So there is I looked this up earlier. It's pretty great. There is a local Champlain Valley folklorist musician,
What?
Banjo Dan.
Banjo Dan.
Banjo Dan.
You can't make this up.
You cannot make this up. Banjo Dan recorded a song about the Champlain Witch.
Oh my god, really? Are you
Yes.
gonna play it for us?
It's on. We will definitely 1,000,000% put a link. You could pull it up.
Where is it on YouTube?
Yes, if you YouTube Banjo Dan Champlain Witch, and it's on his album. If you were so inclined to purchase it, I don't know where you can. I have not looked on Amazon to see if it's
Do you know when
how
this
they done
song was
on there.
created and recorded?
The Witch of Lake Champlain
yep,
by Banjo
that's it.
Dan. We can
It's from the album Mystery and Memory.
why don't we sample it? I think
We'll
we'll
sample
be
it
able to
really
hear it.
quick.
So we took a listen to Banjo Dan's The Witch of Lake Champlain, and we loved it. But I don't really know how the whole copyright thing works, so I'm not going to play it here, but you should go check it out by yourself.
Like you were listening to As I Lay Dying earlier.
Yeah, it
you
was.
like promoting people who have people get paid to kill their wives.
I listened to that song.
so this is your playlist right now. As I see, you're recently watched. As I Lay Dying,
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Brothers Maker, As I Lay Dying Again,
Yeah.
and How Disney's Tower of Terror Works.
How does Disney's Tower of Terror
I
work?
would absolutely.
These are like
unabashedly
videos Riley would have. Mine is As I Lay Dying.
Give him a couple years.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. Give him a couple years, he probably will. Like,
I think.
and be.
So the Lake Champlain Witch, Banjo Dan, wrote a song about her. Look it up. We'll put a link.
Banjo Dan.
Banjo Dan. Legend has it also that the Champlain Witch was responsible for the fate of the Sarah Ellen in 1860.
That's a boat.
It's a boat, yep, which now lays on the bottom of Lake Champlain.
With the Tesla.
With the
With the
Tesla.
Tesla.
Right next door to the Tesla. SpongeBob lives in one, Patrick lives in the other. They knock on each other's Tesla and boat door. Anyway, it's somewhere between Willsboro Point and her intended destination, which was none other than the bougie-ass Burlington, Vermont.
Ooh.
Aw.
The Sarah Ellen was a sailing cargo schooner. Is that how you say that?
It's either
schooner?
schooner or schooner.
I think it's a schooner.
A schooner? It's like Scroon Lake.
Yeah, it's a schooner.
Schooner or later.
Schooner or later.
I'm going to say it one more fucking time. It's a schooner.
Okay, I apologize. I am not an avid boater and do not know these correct pronunciations of boats. The schooner.
We gotta get
Schooner.
back. We gotta get-
Fucking A. The
Okay.
schooner.
Schooner.
This schooner. It
Schooner.
had two masts closely resembling the Lewis McClure LCMM's replica canal schooner.
It's called the Sarah Ellen.
No, that you weren't listening.
Sorry, I just got really distracted by that name.
The mast were, you know what? Anyway, Sarah Ellen spent her entire short life, 11 years.
With
Sarah
an
Ellen.
Ellen with an E.
Sarah Ellen is the
I
boat.
said Sarah Ellen.
Sarah Ellen, yeah.
Why are you
that's what I
upset?
was
Why is
asking.
Liz upset about that?
Because I was talking about the masts were closely resembling the Lewis McClure's LCMM's replica canal.
Oh, yeah, no, I was asking if the boat's name was Sarah
Yeah,
Ellen.
the boat's name is Sarah Ellen.
It's the weirdest name for a boat.
Sarah Ellen, they're named after women. I looked this up one day. I can't remember why, but boats are mostly named
Like the
after women.
dude who built it just had crushes on
'Cause
one girl named Sarah and one girl
like,
named
'cause-
Ellen.
Men are always riding on women,
Well,
controlling
history-
where they go.
History
historically.
claims that she's definitely a she was fully laden with Willsborough's blue stone when she set sail for Vermont on December 19th, 1860. And for some reason, it's schooner? Schooner.
Schooner.
I barely know her.
Okay, she was traveling with another schooner. I'm going to try and remember to say that right. This one is not a woman boat. The Daniel Webster, as they headed east toward
Just-
Burlington.
Daniel
Regu-
Webster, isn't that the fucking dictionary?
You know
That's
what?
Merriam-Webster.
Oh, Merriam-Webster?
Yep.
Oh.
Her husband was Daniel
Yes.
Webster. That's not true at all. The captain, Henry Clay, was a very young sailor at only 21 years old. On board, he had one crewman, Joseph LaPlante, and why are you laughing?
She didn't say
Wire.
semen.
Because I just pictured it was just like him and some other dude, and they're just alone on this giant fucking boat.
Just a bunch of seamen.
I should have got more men.
But yeah, he was just super proud of himself for being a captain, but he only had one.
Didn't have like any money.
Only one other guy wanted to
The
hang
guy
out with
that-
him.
Just one guy, just Joey LaPlante.
Joey
Joey
LaPlante.
LaPlante.
But Joey had also brought along his bride of only a couple of months, Lucy Whitney. So there was two dudes, one chick, one big boat.
On
Well, it wasn't that
Merriam-Webster boat.
They had a lot of spit roasts.
Local, anyway.
They're making H's.
Local residents can verify that it can get awfully cold in December on the lake. No shit.
Are you
If you've
fucking
ever been
serious?
here, it is like
Mm,
the tundra.
Very cold.
You are gonna die out there. I don't even know how they got a boat out there in December. First of all,
It's frozen.
so winter storms during that time are not uncommon. Also, I guess not common knowledge to anybody that doesn't live around here, but it is like
It's like The Shining.
it is. I said that
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah, it's like the
Th-
end
that
of The
is
Shining.
exactly what it's like.
Shit's cold.
So there was a storm. Some shit happened. Some people fucking died. The Sarah Ellen was
Great.
like up Shit's Creek, up Lake Champlain's Shit Creek, which, for the record, shit from Vermont does seep out of their shit plant all the time. So the Shit Creek is real. So they
Like
can
shit lake.
the shit lake.
Good one.
So there was a terrible storm going on, and that coupled with freezing temperatures hammered all sailing conditions, icing over sails, riggings, and steering mechanisms. And Lake Champlain Maritimes Museum, thank you, their research team uncovered the details. So it was because of them that we know about this whole story. So it was speculated that the Sarah Ellen may have sprung a plank with such heavy cargo or took water over the bow. Regardless, she began to sink. Shit went down in Shit's Creek.
Oh no.
So the Maritime Museum, they did some more research and also uncovered that some eyewitness accounts from the crew of the Daniel Webster, they had also witnessed this whole shit storm go down. So the three people aboard the Sarah Ellen struggled to free the lifeboat that was covered in ice, obviously, in December during an ice shitstorm, and managed to get into the water, but remained clinging to it. So this was like Titanic scene, you guys. They're like clinging to that board for dear life. They're about ready to die. So they managed to get in this little lifeboat, again, covered in ice, clinging to it like Leo DiCaprio. Not inside, but they're clinging to the outside of it as the Daniel Webster attempted to come about for a rescue. Keep in mind, these boats had no motors nor any brakes. So when the companion, the schooner, okay, I really had to think about it. When the schooner reached the lifeboat, they managed to pull the plant aboard. So they pulled that one dude aboard. But the impact against the lifeboat coming alongside knocked the captain and his bride free into the water.
Oh no.
So they were, I misspoke earlier. They were in the lifeboat. When they're trying to get out of the lifeboat is when they fall over into the icy shit storm.
So the captain and his wife, they were on the Sue Ellen, Sarah
Yep.
Ellen.
They were on the Sarah Ellen.
Oh, okay. Who was on the Daniel Webster?
That was like another boat that was.
Oh, they just witnessed everything.
Yeah.
Got
They
it.
were sailing along with this boat.
Okay,
So the
word.
two were like, I'm on a road trip with you. Andrew's on a road trip with Ashley. They're in two separate cars. We're going the same destination.
Word. Got
but
it.
one, there's a big storm. One shit's fucking up. A plank comes loose. The boat's going overboard. I'm sorry, cut that out.
Okay.
So the boat's going overboard. They save the one dude. The couple are in this little boat. They fall overboard. So the Daniel Webster tries to come back again, tries to get them again, but they disappeared into the freezing water of Lake Champlain.
And so they think that the Champlain witch is responsible for this?
Yes. Many are convinced that this was the work of the jealous Champlain witch. Else, why would the crewmen be saved while the young couple perished?
Okay.
So we have a lot. I want to give a lot of credit, honestly, to the Maritime Museum. Museum proprietors and curators work really hard, and research teams work really hard to make it so car alarms aren't fucking going off in the middle
Oh my
of our
god, I thought
podcast.
that was the Plattsburgh witch.
Oh my god, she's
That
here.
was the Plattsburgh
It's the
witch.
Plattsburgh witch.
She was a jealous bitch.
So maybe this is weird because Ashley and I were born in 1989, but in 1989, that's when I'm going to shout out Maritime Museum again. Mad props. Their marine archaeologists found the Sarah Ellen.
No
Oh, sick.
shit.
Yep, at 300 feet,
So they're just
and
like
completely documented the shipwreck, making use of a remotely operated vehicle.
So what was
Oh.
it full of?
yeah, it said blue
stone of Willsboro?
Yeah, some kind of blue stone that they were bringing from one place to another.
I
Oh.
can't tell if that's just like a moniker for something else. Or
I
if
don't
it's
know. I'm not really sure.
Hog
The
coke.
web.
Like, yeah.
It's crystal meth.
A lot of meth,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, it's a shitload of meth.
A lot of meth.
Jesus, yeah.
So
They need-
They're making it
because
back in the day.
the boat was actually really well preserved due to the cold water at this depth. So, and there's no light. That's really because it is such a shit lake. It's so dirty, full
Oh,
of
because
shit.
of all the
Yeah.
algae.
No, it's really not that dirty. It's actually a really clean
It's just
lake
real dark.
comparatively. It is very dark. So because the water is so cold and there's not that much light getting to the bottom of there, that's how this boat was so well preserved.
Oh, okay.
So the
So
Maritime
did
Museum
they
found
extract it? They yanked it out of there?
I think once
that
you
what you're
start, they didn't say that they yanked it out of there, which I think if you're trying to pull things like that out of the water, they're gonna just start to fucking fall apart.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't imagine.
So they put the vehicle down there. There's
They just-
there's a little vehicle, kind of
Yeah.
like when you see Titanic. They had that robotic little thing going down the Titanic, taking pictures.
I mean,
and
James
shit.
Cameron wasn't down there looking at the Sarah Ellen.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that's like the kind of vehicle they use to go down there to capture all of these images of the Sarah Ellen with
Nice.
these types of little underwater rovers,
Cool.
which is really cool.
That is cool.
That is pretty cool. Is there? So I wonder if like we can think of any other like modern things that have happened that we could blame the Champlain witch on. Have there been any other calamities?
Tesla?
The Tesla.
Yeah,
She was
that time
just like,
Chi
"I
Choco
fucking
Taco
hate that."
closed.
yeah, Jesus.
That was
Or-
the Plattsburgh witch
Rest in peace. Or
Rip.
Rip.
the ice storm. Maybe that was her.
of '98.
Yeah.
I survived.
Has anything have you guys spent a lot of time on Lake Champlain other than like the ferry?
No, like kayaking,
Yeah,
canoeing.
yeah, like
Yeah.
kayaking,
Yeah.
canoeing.
I
All the
haven't
time.
really spent a whole lot of time with Lake Champlain.
It's kind of creepy, honestly. Being when you're
is.
out there by yourself, like
Yeah.
on
It
a
is
canoe
a
or a
little
kayak,
eerie.
it's like kind of very eerie.
yeah,
Because it is dark. It is you
very
can't-
deep too.
Yeah, it is. And there's like some
Sturgeons and
I was
shit
gonna
down
say
there.
there are some
Yeah.
serious sturgeons, and that would scare me probably more than anything.
Yeah,
I'd rather see Champy, honestly,
We
Yeah.
said that
than
before.
a damn
Yeah,
sturge.
I would. They are very scary. They've got some sharp teeth. They're really big. So I don't want one knot on my foot when I fall
Fuck sturgeons.
over
They're
the Sarah
horrifying.
Ellen.
Yeah, no thanks.
Wonder if that's what happened to them.
They got
They're
eaten by
yanked down by a
sturgeons.
sturgeon.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Well,
That
there's,
would've been so much scarier.
There's also that group of swimmers back in the 90s. They were swimming from Vermont across Lake Champlain to Plattsburgh. And they got attacked by all those fucking those eels. They like started latching onto them. And yeah, while they were trying to swim. And they just
Whoa.
started freaking out because
Shit.
those are they lamprey eels? 'Cause
Are
this
they
little
moray
Oh,
eels?
with
moray
the
eels.
snouts and they're like.
No, moray eels are the cute ones. They
The
look
green
like-
ones?
Yeah, moray eels are the ones.
It's got to be like a
Epsom-
lamprey then.
Jackson and Epsom from fucking
But I thought
Flotsam and
lampreys.
Jetsam.
Flotsam and
or,
Jetsam
like,
from
Little
Mermaid.
Mermaid.
What did I say? Jackson and
Jackson
Epsom salt or
Pollock,
something?
yeah. Jackson and Epsom.
Jackson Pollock and fucking yeah.
So I don't know why we get so giggly when I tell a story.
I don't know.
I
I
don't know
think
either.
it's just because I said hustle and bustle.
Bustle like 5,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made me think of like I wonder if there's an equivalent to that which is for like all the widowed women of all the men that died
Yeah.
in the Lion Mountain mine.
You know, I will do some more research on it, or I'll have PJ do it for me, since he found this great story for me. He was like, "Oh yeah, have you ever heard of the Champlain Witch?" I'm like, no.
No. We
No.
should put if you guys have heard of the Champlain Witch,
Yeah.
you let us
If you're from
let
the
us
area,
know.
most of
If
the people.
you were an avid seaman,
If you're a fan of
if
semen.
you were a potent seaman,
But that would be cool because I mean there are plenty of like spooky spots with Lake Champlain, like what Crab Island
yeah,
is that the one
Valcour
where
Island.
they
There's-
just dumped all those bodies on?
There's Gunboat Island.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's definitely like areas that we could explore more within Lake Champlain as well.
And I have some great listener stories actually about Valcour Island.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I'm excited to hear more about it because I mean, obviously, a fuckload of people have died in this area because of all the battles, and just also it's a shit ass place to live in. Like back in the day when there was no electricity, even when there is electricity, it still fucking
Or their
sucks.
boats
Yeah.
don't have
It's a
motors.
shit-ass place to die, too.
Yeah, it's a shit ass place
right.
to die. So because of like the harsh conditions and what people went through, like I would not be surprised if there's some disturbing occurrences, like phenomena.
Phenomena.
Phenomena mom.
Yeah.
That's what they call me.
But yeah, it'd be cool to do some more research into that. Do you guys want to take a break?
Sure.
I am sweating balls, dude. Really?
Really happy. I would
I was
have.
even staring at it and I was like, huh.
Well, we're just really quiet right now. Hey, we're back from a break.
Hey, real good break.
So,
I gotta find my story.
Are you gonna find now? You're finding your story,
Yes.
I like how this sticker says topless.
and it's boobies.
it's
It's
boobies.
I saw. Okay, you see the weirdest shit when you're driving on Florida highways.
Okay.
So I was driving down this highway on the way home. I have to go over to a bridge to get home. And I see this car in front of me, and I like to read the license plates. And I see this license plate in front of me, and I was like, what the fuck that say? And I was like, this bitch's license plate says, I'm ugly. That's it? That's it. And then I was like, well, I'll be the judge of that. So I started driving to pull up next to him, and I was like, you ain't ugly. I was like, this bitch cannot believe his license plate just said, I'm
Just,
ugly.
I am.
Was it a him or a her?
Him. And then I saw another one not that long ago that said Hot Pocket.
Isn't there a thing called like a Florida Hot Pocket?
No, it's a
Yeah.
it's another state. It's another state.
There's an Alaskan pipeline, I think is what it's called.
Or like
Oh,
it's like a
God.
Minnesota Hot Pocket or Alabama Alabama Hot Pocket.
Colorado
Colorado
Hot
Hot Plate. It's not that one. That's a totally different animal.
Is that
I
weird
don't know
that
what
that
that
made
one
me
is.
hungry?
Yeah. That's very bad that made you hungry.
I
Yeah.
understand, but now I just want a hot pocket.
Now I'm really in the mood for soft serve all of a sudden.
Okay, so it is an Alabama Hot Pocket.
Ew.
The sexual act of defecating into a vagina and proceeding
What the
to have and proceeding to have intercourse with the feces-filled vagina.
Oh, I
Sorry,
didn't know that
Dave,
part.
I can't come to the pub tonight. Me and the wife are having an Alabama Hot Pocket to celebrate my promotion at work.
That sounds like a
My
good way to
promotion.
get a UTI.
Yeah.
Bitch, just get a 12-pack of Coors.
A Bush Light.
Jesus.
Or it was like that story Andrew was telling me about, like the guy and the cup.
2 girls, 1 cup.
No, it was
no
a guy.
man in a jar. One
Yeah.
man, one jar.
Oh, the one. Oh, the 2 potatoes and a jelly.
No, he just has. It's just one man in a jar, and he
Puts it
sits
up
on
his
down.
ass.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know about that.
yeah.
And it broke.
It breaks inside of
Yeah,
him.
there was another dude that did that back in the days when, like, what was it? Rotten.com.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
could look it up where that dude,
Yeah.
you know, boofed some old jam and 2
Yeah.
taters. That jar up busted.
Oh my.
Wow. All right.
Well, let's circle the
God.
wagons now.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Scary Itches. where
That
we
is an
tell
itch I do not want to scratch.
All right, I'm gonna play a thing.
Oh, I missed one.
That's a new one. I don't think I showed you guys that one yet.
I
No,
like
you
that.
did. That was in
Did
one
we?
of the
That
episodes.
was
That's-
nice.
The little marimba.
It's kind of like a spooky Jeopardy.
I guess you're right. like
Spooky
you're in like a.
Jeopardy.
You're,
And the answer, Alex, what is Alabama Hot Pocket?
oh,
It's a brass
Bro.
trombone.
Jesus. Man, we gotta. What the fuck happened to this episode? I'm gonna tell a scary story.
All right.
You guys ready?
Okay,
ready.
scarier than one man, one jar.
I don't think
Because
anything.
that's pretty scary.
Scarier than Mr. Hands.
I don't think anything could
Oh.
be, but I'll try.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's like a weird green
My body
dot.
is ready.
Anyway, all right. So I haven't played it yet, but recently, with the release of the newest installment of the Fallout video game franchise, it's unearthed and brought widespread attention to many of the urban legends and myths of West Virginia, where the game takes
Mhm.
place.
Like that's
Um,
where Mothman is from too.
Yeah,
For the record.
yeah. That's
Point
one of
Pleasant, West Virginia.
My
Point
favorite
Pleasant.
cryptid.
them. You give me the
BT
finger
dubs.
right now.
That's how people in West Virginia say West Virginia.
Why?
It's like WV somehow. I don't know. It's
You
like,
just give
it's
me the
like,
finger.
It's like this, I think.
It's because people in West Virginia are missing most of their fingers.
Yeah, probably.
They can't do it. They got crab hand.
Yeah.
They smile, the teeth, missing teeth spill out.
The
The W and a B.
acronym.
That's
Um,
fucked up. All those people aren't like that.
Well,
That's
all
an
of our,
Appalachia.
all of our listeners except for one are in New York State, so we're fine.
I'm from Florida, so I can say whatever weird
Yeah,
shit
actually,
I can.
good point. Being such as the Beast of Grafton, the more well-known Mothman, like Amanda said, there's a thing called
Chapstick.
I don't get it.
From that movie,
Mothman.
The Mothman
I didn't see
Prophecies.
it. I haven't
There's
seen
one
it.
part where the Mothman just goes, chapstick.
Why does he do
And
that?
then, because he's like, what's in my hand? Because
Yeah.
the Mothman calls him on the phone.
Is it Adrian Gray?
I don't remember.
I think that's what his name in the movie is. The
Sasha-
Mothman. It's like
Oh,
Adrian
okay.
Gray or something.
But he
Adrian
asks,
Brody.
the Mothman calls this guy in the hotel, and the guy's like, oh, yeah? Well, what's in my hand if you're really the Mothman? And the Mothman goes,
crazy look.
chapstick. And he goes like, "Du-du-du-du-du," and he throws the chapstick, throws the phone, and
Yeah.
it's like a really intense moment. But,
Yeah.
but
This is-
I
But
just
I just-
acted the whole thing out,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
lost the chapstick, actually.
Oh fuck
It's
me.
gone
My
forever
chapstick.
now.
Anyway, we had the Mothman. There's a thing called the White Thing.
oh,
It's just
that's what
another
they call
thing.
Courtney.
Also nicknamed the
Same.
Moth.
Very true.
Which I didn't look into because I was afraid.
It's just pictures of Courtney.
The White.
So it's best that you didn't look.
How'd they get those?
My nudes.
Not even
Oh
paying.
God!
They're up for- the worst part is they're up there for free. And the one that particular caught my attention was the Flatwoods Monster. Ooh.
Also, what they call Ashley's chest.
100% true.
Jesus Christ.
The flat chest monster.
That was a good thing.
Tune in to next episode of Scary Itches where you get the entire Lester family stuff into my apartment.
Yeah.
So I guess all those monsters, I guess they're like featured in Fallout 76. I haven't played it yet, and I kind of want to, so I didn't really look up. I think they're just enemies that you can fight, but they might be bosses. I don't know.
Oh, that is sick.
That
I'm
is
really
pretty-
Isn't that
excited
kinda cool?
about it.
Yeah.
That is cool.
One part that was super cool from Fallout 4. Again, this isn't a fucking podcast show, but I played a shit ton of Fallout 4, and that takes place in Massachusetts. And you can actually go to the different. There's literally a place called Jamaica. You can go to the different. Like you can go to Boston.
Yeah.
But Salem is there too. You can go to Salem.
And it looks like
And
Salem.
It fucking looks like
Yeah,
Salem.
it's cool.
I don't remember if I talked about that on the show.
Yeah, a
Did
little
I?
bit.
You
Okay,
know, there's
it's
a
so
there's a
fucking
thing
cool.
that I just discovered not that long ago, where at the campus where I go to, University of South Florida, there's a group on campus. I don't know if it's like some anthropology group or sociology group or archaeology. I don't know. It's a bunch of groups.
An ology.
Yeah,
An ology
some
group.
sort of
Ologies.
ology where they have this studio and they have these drones that they've been making a map of Tampa Bay with these drones. So they send these drones up in the sky and that's my drone noise.
That's a good
And
drone noise.
they have a camera that 3D maps all of Tampa Bay and like poof, they put it into a computer and
Oh,
boom,
that's
it's there.
fucking sick.
Oh,
So
fuck.
that's probably how they did all of those cities.
Yeah.
They probably had all these like drones hovering above and like
That's
3D
how-
map.
Google
I was wondering
Yeah,
how this
3D.
was going to tie into what Andrew was talking about.
3D Google Earth.
But I think
Yeah.
that's really cool that,
It is.
that
It's-
they did that.
In specific, you can go to the Salem Witch Museum.
Yeah.
And I've fucking been there just once, and it was so cool. But like, it wasn't like a perfect one-for-one remake, but it was damn close. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't want to spoil it for anybody that might play it, but like, nothing's in there until you get to the very end, and it's so fucking cool.
I think
Okay.
it's almost the exact same thing you mentioned. In
I don't
the
care,
other-
Liz. It's my show.
My son plays a lot of Fallout.
Actually, yeah, I was watching him play Fallout. I knew that the game he was playing today was Fallout. I have never played it. I have never seen anyone play it, but I know what it looks like.
I love Fallout.
And I was like,
really cool.
oh, this shit's like 10 years old. And then now you're telling me there's a new game. So he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
probably playing the new one.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think it was the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Newish.
new one.
It's confirmed. Anyway, in mid-September in 1952, two brothers, Eddie and Freddie May, were playing in their schoolyard after hours around 7 p.m. with their friend Tommy. Flatwoods at this time was a very small town, just had about like 300 people, very quaint. The boys, unconcerned with Eisenhower's inauguration, the ending of the Korean War, the USSR's testing of the hydrogen bomb, and women's bathing suits becoming revealing one pieces.
My.
They were tossing a ball around and playing cops and robbers or whatever young preteens did back in the 50s. Poke dead bodies, I don't really know.
Yep.
Y'all want to see
Sounds
it
right.
Showing each other their balls, normal stuff.
Some things never change.
No.
Stick swords were dropped and the creaking of old swing sets stopped as the boys
More like a kitten.
as the boys' jaws wide open watched a mysterious pulsing red light crash through the sky above them, illuminating the field with a foreboding red aura. A second or so passed and the boys' necks snapped to look at one another, and they said, "You saw that too, right?" The boys abandoned their viewfinders and matchbox cars and sped back to the Mays' home to find Kathleen May, the matriarch of the Mays. Kathleen, Eddie, Freddie, Tommy, and a couple of their other friends got together, along with a dog, which every story I read about this mentions that there was a dog, but I'm not really sure why. I guess just because there's a dog.
The dog's important.
Yeah. They wanted to set off to the hill to discover what had been causing the disturbing anomaly, and they soon got their answer. What are you guys fucking doing on your phone? Trying to tell a scary story. Look so,
Amanda's
look so
fault.
scared when I said that.
Okay,
I'm not
I was
actually mad.
talking about the listener story.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, bitch.
We can
If
just
hadn't-
pause the episode. Poop, poop, poop. All right, we're back. Don't interrupt my story anymore.
I'm sorry.
Actually, are you vaping on mic?
You can totally hear it.
I had to fart.
Emerging from the shadowy mist of the fog, on the cold forest night, standing 10, maybe 15 feet high, the Mays and company bore witness to a creature unlike anything they'd ever seen. Descriptions have varied. That's the noise that the monster makes.
Hey guys.
I'm the Flatwoods Monster. Descriptions have varied, but our friends described this monster as having a massive, blood-red body, a round head with gigantic glowing eyes. Are you doing a fetus?
No, we were massive, and I was like,
A giant
Yeah.
dick hit a massive fucking cock.
As soon as you said he had a massive, I was like, "There's gonna be."
It's going down.
We're
he's gonna have a massive blood red dick. Dick.
Wait, massive blood red dick, gigantic glowing eyes, and a long billowing dress. Jesus Christ. Liz said something like this was gonna happen, and she was so right. You're both crying.
I'm crying. I'm done.
Are you sure? You good?
Yes.
Gigantic.
Blood red.
It's just a giant dog dick.
Red rocket. Just sticking straight up.
I'd be horrified.
Yeah.
That's why the dog's in all the stories.
That's why the dog. The
Yeah.
dog was never seen again.
Okay, you're gonna have to cut that out.
It also, no, we're keeping it all.
Oh my
in.
God.
It also had a long, billowing dress that hid no legs, as the monster seemed to float along through space, nothing to be held back when slashing at you with its sharp clawed hands. Just as soon as the being came to focus in their eyes, their immense fear and panic pumped adrenaline into their bodies, and they sprinted back down the hill to get away from this unholy creature before it was too late. We still don't know exactly what the Mays saw that night. The story became national news and prompted a U.S. Air Force UFO inquiry, which I don't really know what that is, but it sounds serious. changing the face and fate of Flatwoods forever. I guess years later, some scientists they concluded that it was they were trying to come up with reasons as to what it could be, and they're like they assume it must have been a barn owl perched high up in a nearby tree after an asteroid whizzed by.
Wearing a dress.
What?
Yes,
So a
wearing
barred owl.
dress.
So
With a giant
what
red
happened,
dick.
So what happened is a meteor flew by. A barred owl got scared, flew through some people's laundry that they had hanging up, and they got caught in the
Fucking
tree.
This
farted.
giant dress.
And then there
Had
was
a
just-
boner.
It had just
Had a
a big,
giant
and for some
fucking-
reason it had a giant
Had
red
a
dick.
fear
Problem
boner.
solved, guys.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem very simple?
Fear
Solved
boner.
it.
I think that sounds right.
So yeah, they just said that it was in their heightened state of paranoia, it'd be easy for them to think that they saw something much more sinister.
Then an owl flying through dirty laundry with a
Yeah.
giant red dick.
Have you
Giant
guys ever seen a
An
picture
asteroid.
of the Flatwood Monster?
No.
It's real. It's almost cute.
It's almost cute,
I
but
think
it
it's
looks
cute.
kind of. It's bizarre. And
I'll
it's,
put it.
yeah, we'll put a picture of
yeah,
it
we'll put it
because
up.
it's hard to describe.
Yeah, I'm trying to my best. It has this weird cowl behind it too.
Yeah, and theoretically, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read somewhere once that it is the only documented female.
kinda looks like a nun.
cryptid.
Is it supposed to be female?
Yeah, they always call her a lady. They're like, oh, she, like the Flatwood Monster.
Really?
So I always thought that was interesting.
What happened afterwards is
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a nun.
yeah, it does. And what I really like is that it's steeped. Oh fuck! I didn't search Flatwoods Monster. It's steeped in 1950s alien movie poster design.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
exactly what it looks like. Obviously it was from the 50s, so it's just authentic, but it just really looks like you could see this this picture
Yeah.
I'll post this.
Yeah.
It's the home of the green monster, Flatwoods, Wisconsin?
West Virginia.
West Virginia, duh.
It looks
I
like a
was telling
damn
the story.
I'm not even scared of that. That looks like a freaking peace lily
It's
with
kinda-
eyes.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's almost cute.
But there's some that are
That's
oh,
creepy.
That's
Okay.
creepy.
Oh Jesus Christ, yeah. So this picture that we're looking at right here, on the right, that's
That's
Kathleen
the
May.
original, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's some dude. I think that might be the guy, the police sketch artist that they went to, because right after they saw this fucking thing, they went to the police. They had him sketch it out, and then it became national news.
Yeah.
But honestly, it might be one of the best things that happened to that place, because now they have a museum. It's just like Roswell with
Right.
aliens and shit. They
The
have all these
tourism is
museums.
huge.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was
We
a
drove
small-ass
through
town.
New Mexico, and there was a lot of alien shit.
Oh, all
And we
over.
were not really anywhere near Area 51, but it just seems like the whole
I mean, Area
state.
51 is in Nevada.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Roswell
Yeah,
is
Roswell.
in New Mexico.
Yep, we drove through Nevada and Mexico.
The only reason I know this is because I did the same exact shit last night. My wife was
Yep.
like, "Where is Area 51?" And I was like, "Bitch, are you serious? It's in fucking New Mexico." And she was like,
No, Roswell's in New Mexico.
"Of course,
Right.
yeah."
Oh,
But
okay.
she was googling and she was like, "It's not, you dumb bitch. It's in Nevada."
Does she want to go clap some alien cheeks?
I mean, she might go. She might go.
But I guess through that whole, I feel like both Nevada, once you get past Las Vegas,
Mhm.
it's alien shit. And then you go into New Mexico, also alien shit. I don't know. There's,
Well,
there's
the whole-
just alien tourism shit everywhere.
Well, that whole area is ripe with Air Force activity, and because of that, there's a shitload of alien sightings and
Yeah.
that entire what was it that happened when that missile misfired and it spiraled in the sky for 20 minutes and everybody thought
Holy
there was a
shit.
fucking hell portal opening up above
makes
the
sense.
ocean. But because of all the Air Force activity there's a lot of UFOs because we never know quote what they're testing and
Yeah.
I think also, do you remember that underground bunker map? I was
Yes.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Yep.
Last episode.
There's a lot of activity in that area for quote underground bunkers and secret tunnels and stuff too.
It would be the fucking place to do it.
Yeah, it would
No
be.
one's there.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking wants to hang out
I think
there.
that's why
Yeah.
where they tested the atomic bomb was
Yeah,
in
it is.
one of the
The
deserts.
desert.
Yep.
Yeah.
In either, I think, Nevada or New Mexico.
It's
Yeah.
fucking nobody
Well,
there.
in Nevada, that's where they hide a lot of nuclear waste.
Yep.
Is in this place called Yucca Mountain.
Yep.
They hide a lot of nuclear waste under this place, which is right next to Las Vegas. So if
Where
this
they
shit
just
ever
store it in
Yeah.
a giant.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
And
like in a
it's called Yucca Mountain.
giant cement bunker.
But if this shit ever leaks,
miles down.
forget it.
Oh, yeah, we're
fuck, we're
fucked.
done.
So
Wow, I did not know that.
yeah,
nobody-
you can look up Yucca Mountain.
You can. It's super freaky, and nobody knew how to fucking deal with that shit back in the
No,
50s.
they still don't really know how to deal with it now.
They don't.
Yeah,
We're
I
fucked.
feel like my gut reaction is ooh, just bury it, which is, I guess, their.
That's kind of
That
what they
was
did.
their
Yeah,
gut
right.
reaction. Yeah, because I
Is this how
think
you
it's a
smell it?
couple
I'm
miles.
not sure.
No, it's CC.
Kind of like Yucca.
It's like a yucca plant.
I'm doing it with K's. Yucca. It's Y-U-C-C-A. Oh,
Wow. Yeah. I mean, whoa.
is that the fucking
Isn't it like
Millennium
several?
Falcon?
Yep.
And there's the Millennium Falcon. Isn't it like several miles underground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty far, but it's kind of cool.
Yep.
I mean, it's not cool at all,
No, it's
not
I,
fucking
but I get
cool.
what you're saying.
intriguing.
but I bet a lot of people, don't
Captivating.
even know about.
Well, on
I didn't
the-
know about it.
Mountain.
On the next episode of Scary Itches, we're gonna go to Yucca Mountain and
Yeah,
check it
oh,
out.
yeah.
We're gonna have a giant
Yeah,
expose, figure it all out. So yeah, I guess what's really cool about at least Fallout 76 is bringing light to all these new creatures and like you can like find them where they're fucking actually from.
Wow, that's
in the
really
place.
cool.
So that
Video games are
Flatwoods
getting-
Monster is in the
Yeah.
new Fallout game.
Yeah, I don't know to what extent because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but yeah,
That's exciting.
it's definitely something.
Yeah,
you can
that's
fight.
cool.
Yeah.
I think the Mothman is like a guy you can interact with. I don't know.
I
It's-
mean,
it's
it makes
fucking cool.
sense. People have interacted with the Mothman.
Yeah.
I would say like he's probably the most known for like actually physically not like talking, but like sending psychic messages to
Oh, okay.
to people.
Like sending them into people's brains and shit.
Well, yeah, that's why the Mothman first started showing up was because I'm not super familiar with the movie that came out with Richard Gere.
Richard Gere, yep.
But I've only seen that movie like maybe once or twice. But I know Mothman, they said that like he was basically like a harbinger of the massacre that happened on the bridge in that town. And that the Mothman helped people to like predict it. Or that he was predicting it.
He was in the movie. He was
Yeah,
predicting that.
Well, and people even tie what happened with the Mothman as like a sign of like ill will to come. And did you guys know that Mothman has recently been spotted throughout Chicago?
I did see that actually.
What?
I read about that.
Mothman's back, bitchy.
And for the record, we're driving Courtney to Illinois
Oh, good luck, Courtney.
in a couple weeks, which is why I will be absent from the podcast while
Oh no!
my mom and I drive
Well, you
Courtney to grad school.
Killed by the Mothman.
So I'm gonna send
my worst fear.
I'm gonna send
God,
stories
no.
from the road, and hopefully I will find a great Mothman story while we're driving
better not.
through
Hopefully,
Maybe
Illinois.
you'll, maybe you'll find
Let's not.
maybe you'll find Mothman himself. You get to- we'll
I
bring him on the
hope-
show.
Give him a cheeseburger. Actually, also we're gonna that particular episode. Actually, no, I just realized we don't need to put this in there.
What?
Well, because how many episodes is that away? Like 2 more episodes?
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
don't know.
You just say in the future.
Well, so like yeah, in the future, because you're gonna be traveling and sending us stories from the road, we are gonna have a special guest on the podcast, a particular sort of wizard. Sorry, but yeah, we're gonna have an actual chaos wizard.
We're gonna
on
have
the
an
podcast.
actual
Actual
wizard.
chaos
An
wizard.
actual. Well, he is an actual chaos wizard.
Not like the
I have no
KKK kind of
idea
wizards, but like
what the fuck that is, but
Chaos.
yeah.
yeah,
I
chaos
don't even know what
magic.
that is.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you know
really?
what? I'm gonna be listening.
Well, we're gonna be doing just talking about the chaos.
I'm gonna be
magic.
listening from the road. So
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about a
And I will-
particular haunting of a particular neighborhood house that many of us have close dealings
I
with.
will
Spooky.
critique you heavily
Okay. Great.
without my presence.
Yeah.
I'll
To-
have all the time for all the critiquing.
To Amanda, all the episodes without Amanda are the worst episodes.
Oh my god, real quick, going back to aliens just for 1 second.
Let's go back.
So we already have talked about how Florida is a really weird place, right?
Yeah.
So in the area where I live in the Tampa Bay area, there's this secret group that meets up at the library.
Don't tell him. Don't fucking.
Like,
Don't out him, dude.
Are you part of the secret group?
I am not part of the secret group, but I've heard through the grapevine.
Okay.
This secret group meets at the public library every 2 weeks, and it is a group of people who have been abducted by aliens.
What?
What?
It's an alien
That's too
abduction
quiet.
support group.
Yes.
I've heard about this group. I've heard about this group, and they were recently on like a news station, like local news station.
Really?
Yes, I heard of. Oh my god, go
My
ahead.
friend tried to go, right? Because he was like, I want to make some artwork about this shit.
Yeah.
So I'm in grad school for fine art, just to let everyone know in context. And my friend went to this alien abduction support group or whatever, and they easily spotted him out. They were like,
They're
giving
like,
him
"No."
the eye. They were like,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
I mean, when you've been abducted by aliens, you know another abductee.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you can
your
just sense
probes
it.
It's got like a
Touch.
smell.
asses. Like they know that your ass has not been within one of them.
Yeah.
It's
That
like-
guy-
So
it's
they
Like
knew.
when you're the first kid that smokes weed in school, like you can tell the other kids have already smoked weed.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I
So like
see
they're
you.
not smoking out of apples anymore,
No,
man.
no.
Now
it's
they're
some
under
serious shit.
cans.
Oh man. That's
yeah,
hardcore.
they kicked him out,
Yep.
and that's all you know.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
How'd they kick him out of the public library?
I think, he was embarrassed at that point and was like, all right, I think I'm fucking out of here. You're right. I'm like,
I'm out.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm a phony. I'm just here.
yeah,
for
you're
the
right.
artwork.
Yeah.
Oh, silly
So-
goose.
Maybe I'll try to figure out some more about this alien. Sorry, that was my card. Maybe I'll try to figure out some more about this alien abduction group and
Okay.
get back to you.
Send
that'd
us
be
some
sick.
info
Mhm.
I'm totally into that.
through our secure channels.
Absolutely.
Through scaryitches@gmail.com.
Yeah, please. All right, fuck. What's next?
Well, I feel like you have a story for us.
Ashley
right?
does have a
I do
story.
have a story.
Oh,
Let's
God.
before Ashley tells her story, which fucking transition did I not use?
You got like,
I think I used all three of them, so I'm gonna have to do this in post. That's fine. Do you guys want to hear the Bigfoot ooh?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
this is a true crime
Is this
story.
a scary story? Oh, okay. I don't want to.
I mean, it's kind of scary, I guess.
Is this firsthand?
This is firsthand.
is
This
firsthand,
happened to me,
okay.
yes.
Because I try not to. I like to know a little bit
Mhm.
going into it because I don't want to be too silly if it's true crime, especially if it happens.
It's true
to you.
crime. It has been brought through the courts already. Everything's done and over with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So there's
Bless
no, there's no you're innocent until proven guilty because he was found guilty.
This dude was
Okay.
found
Yeah.
guilty.
Yikes.
You
All
got,
right.
and okay,
This dude
so
done fucked up.
There's a lot of times on Trash Cast where I start making jokes about stories, and then they're like, and then they all die, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I didn't
You're like,
know.
oh.
Yeah.
And her parents were murdered right in front of her.
Yeah. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
So, back in the days, when I got out of high school, I was working at a local pizza place here in Plattsburgh prior to me moving and everything. So I was here, I was delivering pizzas, I was young, I was making that money, and this particular pizza place happened to be next door to not only one, but two gas stations named Bucks that had pictures of deer all over it.
oh yeah, mud.
Yep. And
Hey there.
so we were next to the new Bucks gas station.
New
And down
Bucks.
the street, maybe, I don't know, not even like a kilometer or something, there is the old Bucks gas station. They're both still active. And we had this regular that would come in with his dad all the time. And he also drove a semi truck. And sometimes he would park at the old Bucks gas station down the street in his semi truck and have pizza delivered there to his truck.
Which
And
is like, to be honest, within like walking distance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a busy street.
But like
It's a route.
it's weird to
Route
have somebody
22B.
it's weird to have somebody
22
come deliver
north.
you a pizza.
In a
a truck.
Yeah, when you're in a truck. Yeah. I mean, I look
is
back on
weird.
it now and like hindsight, it's like, wow, bitch. But
Isn't that technically just like pickup?
yeah, I mean,
You're
I
just
should have.
driving to
At the time, to be fair, at the time, I was real fucked up,
Yeah,
like 24/7, delivering pizzas, as people do.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, one day he calls up and he's like, yeah. He made an order for a pizza, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll bring it to this dude. Yeah, whatever, I'll go down there. So I drove down the street, right down the street, and there his huge ass truck was. I was parked, and I was like, hey man, how you doing? Got your large pepperoni. And he was like, hey, thanks, how you been? And I was like, oh, I've been great, just like little like banter here and here.
Fucked up.
I was like,
I'm
yeah,
delivering
man,
pizza."
real fucked up, man. And he was like, yeah, you want to check my truck out? And I was like, yeah, cool. I was like, absolutely. I was like, it's pretty sick, man.
Dumbass.
So,
Oh, she's a dumbass.
yeah.
What was your doctor boyfriend? Showed you his
Okay, you
jar,
know what?
closet full of brains.
Yeah. So, anyways, he opens the door like a fine gentleman, might I add. He opens the friggin' semi door. And I'm like,
My lady.
I was like, my eyes were probably all bloodshot and like two piss holes in the snow. And I was like, wow, these seats are cool. Are these hydraulics? And I'm pushing on it like a fucking idiot, like I know what I'm talking about. And he was like, yeah, you want to sit in it? And I was like, fuck yeah. So I sit in this bitch and I close the door and, I have my arm like on the windowsill, like, yeah.
Wow, do these doors lock themselves? That's crazy.
I'm a fucking trucker right now.
Automatic windows? Are these soundproof?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he was like, yeah. He's like, I got a bed back here and everything. And I was like, awesome.
Oh, he said a semi truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh,
a semi,
fuck.
like a
Yeah.
like a big, like an 18
I
wheeler.
missed that part. Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He's like, I got a bed in here and everything. So I was like, wow, that's fucking cool, man. So I think I talked like that back then too.
Yeah, makes
And
sense.
You did,
anyway, I was like, all right,
Can
man,
confirm.
gotta go back to work. Gotta, deliver more pizzas to other people like your fine self. So I go back to work. A couple days goes by, right? And I'm reading the paper, sifting through. I turned the paper, so now it's on the front page.
Mhm.
This dude's big ass face is on the front fucking page. And I was like, what? What's Adam doing on the front page? And I was like, man, maybe he like smuggled some drugs or something.
Got an award.
And I was like, hopefully he smuggled some drugs. And then,
He's got the hookup.
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna hook his ass up. And anyway, so I start reading down, and I was like, reading, speed reading, blah, blah, blah. Because I was like, can't be anything serious. And I was like, what the fuck? This dude killed a stripper? So not only did this dude, Adam Morris, kill a stripper, but I found the article from the Press Republican the day I saw it.
Oh my
I found it. I have it
God.
pulled up on my phone right now. Look, I'm not kidding.
Oh
There's
my
his big ass
God!
face.
That's a big ass
That is a-
face.
oh,
Wow,
that's a-
yeah.
That's a big ass face. Yep.
He's got one
He
of
kind of
those.
looks like an earthworm.
He's got one of those faces where you're like not surprised. He
Yeah.
got into some
I mean,
shit,
he's
you know?
wearing denim. Can you really trust a person in denim?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, but not in
Yeah.
2004. You couldn't.
Is this shirt
as
technically?
Andrew is wearing denim.
As I'm wearing, yeah, I'm not wearing
It
denim
might be
today.
faux, I don't know.
Normally,
It's
I'm
weird.
wearing
It's just a
my
pattern.
Canadian tuxedo, but not today. Anyway, so here is the article from that. It says Adam Morris has been sentenced to life in prison for killing exotic dancer Natalie Fournier in 2004, then dumping her body in a Malone sandpit. Morris, 32, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in Quebec Superior Court recently and was sentenced to life in prison. In Quebec, that's only like 10 years.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Why do they call it life if it's only 10 years?
I think the maximum you can get in prison in Canada, life, I think, is like 20 years.
No
but he probably
shit.
only got like 10 years.
No
Good behavior.
way.
He is eligible for
Prison
parole
math.
in 12 years. So this was in, I don't know when the fuck this was.
2004.
2004, but I don't know when he was found guilty. Anyway, Fournier, a 28-year-old exotic dancer from St. Catherine, Quebec, disappeared in October 2004 from the club where she worked. She was last seen getting into a tractor-trailer rig with an English-speaking Caucasian man. Morris, who owned a tractor-trailer and frequented the club, was questioned at the time of her disappearance but was not charged. 4 years later, Morris was being questioned at the Malone State Police Barracks for allegedly having images on his home computer of young girls engaging in sex acts.
Ah.
While there, an investigator recognized him as a suspect from the 2004 case and told the interrogators to question him again. They already had the dude 4 years ago. Morris reportedly confessed to the murder, telling police he had choked her to death in self-defense. Now, if y'all has seen the picture of this big-ass
that dude
bitch.
Yeah.
We'll put a picture of him on our Facebook.
Uh-huh.
We'll link it.
we'll link the article.
Yeah, oh, okay. I ain't buying a word of this. Morris confessed and said he choked her to death in self-defense when she came at him with a knife and cut him across his big-ass chest.
Ah.
He told police he continued to make fuel deliveries with her body in the vehicle.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Morris then drove to a sandpit near his parents' home off Denio Road in the town of Malone. You know what they say about Malone? If it's from Malone, leave it alone, baby. And dumped her body there. Investigators found a distinctive purse belonging to Fournier hidden in the overhead beams of the family garage.
Whoa.
Her remains were recovered and identified, and Morris was charged with tampering with evidence for dumping her body and taking the purse. He was sentenced to 4 years in state prison on those charges in 2009, then extradited to Canada to face murder charges.
Which makes sense because we graduated in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
You would have been delivering pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
So-
timeline is like.
Where I was sitting in that truck was the passenger seat.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I was probably
Right where
I mean,
Sitting-
definitely because it
Right?
happened in 2004, and he
Mhm.
still had the same truck.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. And I was sitting in that seat where that exotic dancer was fucking choked to death.
Oh my
and
God.
she was dead for a while while
While
he
he was,
made.
you know,
Truck.
Making some deliveries, yeah.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
That's fucked up.
Yep.
So,
So that's what happened to me once.
dude, you want to hear something? This is what's something fucked up that happened to Jay's mom. So Jay's mom was like a cute little thing back in the 60s. Oh yeah,
Ooh.
she's adorable. And she was in Schroon Lake. of all
Schroon Lake?
places. Yeah.
Schroeder Lake?
Schroeder Lake. And she was walking down the road, and this guy in a, I can't remember if she said it was like an Oldsmobile or a station wagon. And I know the car is actually important to this story, so I feel like an asshole. But anyway, this guy pulls up to her, and he's like talking to her and trying to get her to get into the car. And she's like, suddenly really starts to get like nerved out by this guy, and she's like, okay, she pretended like she knew these people up ahead of her. She's like, oh, I see my friends, I have to go, bye.
Hey, Aaron!
And so the guy was like, got angry at her and circled around and like passed by her again. Jay's mom is a petite woman with long brunette hair. I don't know if y'all remember this, but apparently, well, not apparently, it was the son of Sam.
Shut the fuck
Which,
up.
for the record, my dad, when he was a CO, he's retired now.
Yeah.
But was watching Son of Sam in the correction facility because he was working at the prison that Son of Sam was in.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
My
I
dad
don't
said
know
he
what-
was crazier than fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what Son of Sam is.
You don't know Son of Sam?
No.
He's
like,
the serial
he said-
killer whose dog
Yes.
was telling him to kill
people.
everybody.
Yep, his
Why
dog.
was his dog
And-
doing that? That's rude.
Because,
Yeah, I mean,
well, you just get a new
He's
dog.
an asshole dog.
I think
But
like the
so-
only Jewish serial killer, for the record.
But
Did
yeah,
he
so
slaughter
Jay's
them kosherly.
So Jay
Probably not.
I don't- probably
No,
not.
probably
So-
not.
But so Jay's mom anyway found out that like she was like, oh god, like this guy's like super creepy. So and that was like right before he got caught. And oh my god. And so she was super creeped out by him, was thinking about it afterwards for days because she's a very small, like quiet lady. And as soon as she found out about it in the papers, she was like, holy fuck, that's the guy. And it was fucking awesome. And not only that, but she was so freaked out by this story, she never told Jay or his sister until like fucking 20 years later.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
she just didn't want to like
that's
let
crazy
them know.
as fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I thought that was nuts.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And she's
Yeah.
like, so she's like, oh, well, I saw the Son of Sam. And I'm like, what? Yeah.
Wait a tick. What?
That
Yeah.
is spooky. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Son of Sam,
I
dude.
can't believe you've never heard of Son of
And
Sam.
he's in.
I think they called it the Summer of Sam also because
Yeah.
it was like over this whole one summer
Wow.
period.
And he was just terrifying.
or maybe
the
that's
whole
the name of
area.
a movie. they
so he's
came
in
out
jail
with, but-
here.
No, he's dead now.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
okay.
he was in jail at
Dannemora.
Dannemora.
Then they got him, or
Yeah, they got
Actually,
him. Yeah.
the-
no? I
they
mean,
got-
like, did he die of old age, or like?
I
did the
think
guys
probably-
kill
I
him,
think he
or-
died of old age.
Yeah, probably old age.
Oh, okay.
My dad
Actually,
was like, that son of a bitch was crazy as fuck.
Yeah, the
It's like, well,
owner-
no shit, dad.
Yeah, the owner.
I know your
of-
dad now, so I can picture him saying
Yeah.
that. That's really funny.
Right. The owner of the Coffee Cat was the dental hygienist at Dannemora, and she actually cleaned his teeth.
I did not know
Oh.
that, Patty.
Yep. And
No way.
Old dirty bastard, she cleaned his teeth too.
Oh wow.
And she said he was very mean.
That ODB.
So I guess we have some extra time at the end of this episode. I didn't think we were gonna have time to talk about it, but I guess this story got a little bit bigger than I expected, and it's not huge. But Amanda actually showed me that there was a post about it. Was that yesterday, Amanda? Do you remember?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
yesterday. Yep.
yeah. That you showed me. So it was 2 days ago. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I was at the co-op.
Actually, I would just like to point out I'm not quite sure if Son of Sam is dead.
Oh shit!
So we
Is
should
he
take
still
that
on the
back.
loose?
Because I'm no. He's either dead or in prison for life.
Okay.
I thought he died. He's dead.
I'm
It doesn't
fine.
say it on the like a Wikipedia.
I'm on Wikipedia.
Just
it says
Google. Is
born.
Son of Sam dead?
It says born, but it doesn't
If
say.
it doesn't say died, then yeah. he's
well,
not
if it
dead.
doesn't say die, that dude's still alive.
Then
Maybe he's
he's-
the freaking flat chest monster.
Flat chest monster.
So what
he's-
happened to you in front of the co-op?
Well, nothing
Or at
happened.
the co-op?
Nothing happened to me, but
Yeah.
so it was just there was just down to 3 of us closing, and I was up at the register. There's these giant. If you've never been there, there's these giant glass windows that make up the entire whole of the storefront, so we can see out like onto
Yeah.
the street, no problem. This really nice lady came in, and I rang her out. She told me she was told me where she was from. I was like, oh, cool, I've been there. And we talked back and forth. She was really nice. She was like, I'm just getting my car worked on. I'm just going to grab lunch here, and I'm going to walk back afterwards. I'm like, yeah, cool, okay. And she went into our little parklet, which is just, how do you describe the parklet? It's just like a...
It's an outdoor.
like
not an
like a-
outdoor cafe, but it's like an outdoor seating area
like a
in
side
front of our
street.
store.
Yeah.
In front of the store.
yeah, instead of like a on-street parking, we just put up a little patio. She was having lunch out there. She was the only one out there. And I just felt weird kind of ever since she left. I was just like, I just feel like I need to watch her. And that's where the story is going. I just kept taking a peek outside. I was at the register anyway, and she was doing fine. And then I see these two kind of rougher looking guys come up to her. One was carrying a pizza box, and they both were, I don't know, they looked like, I don't want to say trailer trash, but that's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
They didn't look like they were drug addicts per se.
let's reel that back and just say trashy.
Trashy, yeah. That's
Because
a better
I don't
way.
want to say that.
Yeah.
Not everybody that lives in a trailer.
Yeah, a ton of my family
are
live in
not.
trailers.
There are some
Yeah.
fancy ass fucking
There's
trailers.
some nice ass
dude.
trailers. Yeah.
Dude, they got like jet tubs in their bathrooms and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just dial it back and just say they were trashy.
They were fucking
Yeah.
hot dumpsters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were a
These
hot
guys-
dumpster. They're hot Plattsburgh summer dumpster.
They didn't have the jet tubs. These
No.
guys.
No, they were just here for the county fucking fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never seen. And everybody there had never seen these two guys before, and they were talking to her, and I could tell she wasn't loving it, but it seemed like they're starting to leave. So I watched her the entire time. I actually had one of my friends was in the store at the time. I was talking to him, and I was like, I'm just kind of watching this girl, and he's like, yeah, totally. So I found this out later, but what they came up to her, they had just grabbed like a slice of pizza or whatever, and they just threw out the lamest line that I'm pretty sure everybody in this room has experienced. A guy walks up to you and
Nice
says,
tits.
I hate it when guys tell me that. No. What do your It's the second best. What do your tattoos mean?
All right.
Like, I love your tattoos.
And we are.
And then they take your sleeves and they pull them up for you, and they're like, "Wow!" And you're like, "Dude, don't fucking touch me,
do
bro."
not touch
we
me.
are. There is Andrew and 4 other women who
With
are
tattoos.
heavily tattooed.
Yeah.
So we've all
I'm sure you've
experienced
all
that,
experienced
especially
it.
drunk dudes. They're
Or
like,
then,
"Oh."
and then the follow up that comes worse than that. They're like, "Got any below the belt?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
What's
I'll
he
be like,
think?
"Oh, right next to my dick."
Yeah. It's like, what does he think? He's like, yeah, let me show you. Like, what the fuck's the next step to that?
Oh, God.
But anyway, that's what I found out. And they eventually left her alone. So I was like, okay, whatever. It was a quick interaction. But I just kept my eye on her and make sure she was okay. Literally like 2 minutes later, these same two dudes roll up in their shitty little car into the parking spot that is right next to the parklet.
yeah, like
and-
right in front of it.
Yeah. And I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, just get it the fuck out of here. And of course, one of them gets out, the gimpier, I've been calling him the sidekick. He gets out and he starts making his way up towards her. And at this point, there was nobody at the register. I wasn't around any of my other coworkers, but I'm like, I gotta go out there. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna leave her alone out here because clearly she's uncomfortable. I don't know to what extent. Actually, I grabbed a box cutter that we have at the register and I put it in my back pocket. I
You
don't know
never
what's
know.
gonna fucking happen.
You never
Yeah.
know. That's a smart idea.
So I went out there and I was pretending to.
You could have sprayed some
You know
of our
what?
all natural bug repellent in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could have
geez.
been like this dude could have gone all serpent in the rainbow and blew some fucking shit in your face.
I don't know what he's fucking
know?
got. So I just pretended I was like fixing the plants. I was literally, if you watch what I was doing,
I'm
I
just
looked like
cutting
an
these
idiot.
plants with this box cutter.
Yeah. Everybody, stay away from me. But I literally, if you had watched me, you're like, what the fuck is he doing? I was like picking up the potted plants and just like brushing them around. It was really obvious.
I like to pick things up and I put them back down.
But I get out there and I missed what the first interaction, and all I hear is her saying, "No, honestly, you're kind of freaking me out. It sounds like you guys are kind of trying to kidnap me now. I'm gonna go back into the store." And he tries to give like some half-assed apology thing, and I follow her right behind her all the way back into the place, and I'm like, what do those guys say to you? And she told me that they came up to her. I guess when he had gone up to her, he said, this is so stupid. He said, "My friend has a question for you, but he has a bad knee. Can you come to the car?"
Oh my God. Ew.
Which these guys were just walking around
Yes,
10 minutes
literally.
earlier.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to sit down with her at one point because the first time they came around, the gimpy guy, he threw his pizza box down on the table that she was sitting at as if they were going to join together and have
Oh
fun.
God.
So she came in. And I was like, I just want you to know I was watching you the entire time. You know, I mean, I could tell those guys were giving you a hard time. She was like, "Yeah, I really appreciate it." She hung out there. We offered to call the police, but she was okay. Later on, yesterday actually, you showed me the post. You sent us the post.
Liz
or
sent
heard
me-
about it.
Yeah.
Liz was like, so apparently somebody almost got abducted in front of the co-op and then sent me a Facebook post,
Yeah.
which then I put into our Spooky Boys,
The group chat,
our
yeah.
group chat.
Yeah, I work
And-
at an office, so whenever something viral and scary happens on Facebook, all of the
goes
moms
around real
immediately
quick.
share it and show each other it all the time.
Yeah.
So Liz
totally.
sent it to me. I sent it to Andrew. Andrew was like, I was there.
I was
This
literally
is what
there.
happened. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, are you on lunch? Because I live above
You
the
live-
co-op
yeah, you're right
also.
there.
So Andrew was like, yes, for like 5 minutes. And I was like, be right down. And Liz was like, don't you fucking dare tell this story without me. And then he was telling me the story and she was like, Fine, whatever. I know you're telling it without me.
So what has happened? Has there been a conclusion?
I
haven't heard
an
anything.
update?
The Facebook post, it was by, I don't know exactly.
I feel like I
who.
saw the Facebook post
I sent
and
it
the car.
I sent it in our family chat.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
looked
okay.
like the picture had a very clear shot of this
They
license plate.
they apparently sent that to the police.
Oh,
And
okay.
apparently I was reading some of the comments from that Facebook post.
Well, we haven't explained what the post is yet.
Okay,
It
there
was-
was a Facebook post.
Yeah, it was somebody that I think worked
at the
knew-
at the car repair
Wherever-
place where this
yeah.
woman was going.
But actually, before she left, we took a picture with her phone of the car and the license plate number. So, but
Very
somebody,
smart.
Yeah,
It was very smart.
She was
Yeah.
very smart. So, Amanda, you heard that there was something they submitted it to the police.
Yes. So they did submit it to the police. Somebody was saying like, "Oh, it's been reported to the police. You know, here's the picture, yada yada yada." But then somebody else was saying that this is apparently not the first time they've dealt with these two guys, and there's
What?
another
Yeah.
picture of them.
I
Yeah,
can't
Let me see that
confirm-
picture. Let me see that picture.
I can't confirm those. I was right in front of these dudes. The bottom one looks like it could be the sidekick guy, but the bigger one, he was a beefier guy, not heavier. He looked like he had a little bit of muscle to him, and he had like it looked like it was bleached blonde hair. It's very extremely lightly colored hair.
Huh.
So and that's in that picture it looks like he has black hair. So I don't know if that's accurate, but
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but that's all.
Yeah.
I really figured out from
Yeah.
that post.
That's
Where did the original Facebook photo come from?
it was a picture of her phone with the guy that posted the post's phone. He took a picture of her phone that had a picture of
the car.
the car
Yes.
with the license plate.
So it's a picture of somebody's phone
yes, which is
with
confusing to
that
That is
say.
very
picture
confusing.
Yeah.
on it.
Why didn't you just send them the picture?
I don't know.
I don't
yeah.
know either. It's fine.
Because then you don't want to
Changing
give
hands.
random people your phone number,
Yeah,
which
he's
I
just your
totally understand in
mechanic
this
or
Oh,
situation.
he's a random guy?
No, the person that put this, Tracy, I don't know how to say their last
Montessori.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they posted this whole thing on
I just
Facebook.
completely made that up. Montessori.
Okay, so
Montessori.
that's the guy wwho works at the garage
Right.
that her car was at.
Yeah, that's,
Yep.
that's supposed
Well,
to
that was a nice. I'd be giving my business to them.
Yep, and the post
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The post says verbatim, "Please be vigilant of your surroundings. I had a customer that walked downtown to the food co-op this afternoon and got approached by two gentlemen stating that their friend had a leg injury and had some questions to ask her and was looking to get her in the car. This is a picture of the car and one of the guys. Please share."
People have
Huh.
been sharing.
Yeah, they have.
Yep, it
Yeah,
has
it had-
238 shares.
Holy shit.
Which
wow.
is like crazy for this area. But if there's like people trying to abduct other people, that's the good thing
Fuck
about this
yeah.
area. It is so small. So if somebody does
spreads.
some shady shit, you are going to find out within 5 minutes.
Well, that's another creepy thing about this area, though, is that because we have the Canadian border right there.
It's a
so
very high human
it's
traffic area.
unbelievably
is.
high human trafficking. And actually, what's super, super creepy is Jay and I went hiking at one of those trails. I can't remember what one. It's the one that you can see the Canadian border. It's like a river, and there's the Canadian border. If you're hiking through it, you'll find clothing and like shoes and all sorts of
Jesus
stuff.
Christ.
And one of Jay's old friends is a police officer, and he's like, yeah, that's they traffic people, put them in different clothes and change their hair, and then they bring
Yeah.
them across the border.
That was a big
Wow.
thing over the winter. I saw a
Yeah.
lot of Facebook posts about this one particular Asian woman who was like,
Oh, in Saranac Lake?
yeah, but then she had made her way down towards this area, I believe, but in like a big like truck or SUV that had a Texas license plate, was like this very like skinny Asian woman who was like totally weird, but was like kind of following kids around, and she was suspected to be a
Like child trafficker.
yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah.
So that was all over, and I've seen a lot of things on Facebook, especially over the winter, of like people following kids around like in Walmart and stuff. I don't know, it's totally bizarre. So
yeah, that's spooky,
watch your
man.
kids. Luckily, I have a really big 10-year-old, so they're not gonna steal
not as
him.
concerned.
Yeah.
I guess with the whole thing, I told her this, and I told everybody that I've told the story to so far. I do consider myself a little bit of a hypochondriac, so
A hypochondriac is
Huh?
you're sick all the time.
I thought it's when you over worry and you think you're constantly dying and stuff.
That's a hypochondriac.
Yeah,
It can be both.
I thought so. Yeah.
Like you're really worried and also think you're sick all the time?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Well, I'm very worried all the time, and I always think the worst. I don't know. It could have just been two trashier looking guys that didn't know how to talk to the pretty girl, and they just kept flubbing.
No, I ain't buying it.
But
I mean,
they had all the makings of a fucking creepy experience.
yeah,
you know?
and like I would give that credit, but because you never want to assume. I'm curious to see what other, because like somebody has got to know these guys. I'm curious to see
yeah.
what the comments are going to be, because his like license plate and his face are blatantly in that picture.
And it's a New York plate.
Yeah, so somebody's got to know somebody, especially if they are from New York. I can only assume that they're from either Plattsburgh or one of the outlying smaller towns. So something's going to come up, and like, there are some people in this area who I have dealt with who would be dumb enough to be like, oh, just get her to come over and talk to me.
Yeah.
Just seduce her with this old pizza box, man.
Yeah, and because
Trust no bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
it has, like, I've so many times walking down the road and I've had some scummy ass motherfucker be like, hey, come over here. And I'm like, eat a dick, dude. Like, no.
That's what I'm thinking. Like that old, like, think of your grandpa being like, hey, baby, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
tell her
have
something to get her to come over here.
I mean, fortunately, I personally don't have those problems all the time. It's more like, hey, dude, and I'm like,
yeah.
all right,
One time we were in
with my fucking dick swinging, and I'm like, what up, dude?
PJ and I were in Florida, and I was not in there at the time, but they ran into this bar, which is also a convenience store. So it was a bar convenience store.
And a liquor store.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
And a
And you
liquor
can
store.
heavily smoke in this bar.
Yeah,
so
that sounds like my kind
the
of
liquor
fucking
store
place.
opens at 8 a.m. and the
Shit.
homeless people like sit outside the door of the liquor store
no.
connected to the bar.
Oh, no.
But I guess Ashley and PJ were in there, and there was a guy in front of you. Do you know what I'm talking about, this story?
Yeah, but I can't recall.
It was like a guy was like, oh, excuse me, sir. And Ashley like turns around. He was like, ma'am, I'm sorry. You're beautiful, ma'am.
Oh yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
He
He
was
was
like, you are beautiful.
and I was like, okay, can I get some Red Man Chew, please?
Like, okay.
Which is exactly what I was in there looking to get
When I first started riding the
for a performance, might I add. I don't actually chew Red Man, but
you just had to stick with the.
I was like, excuse me,
Character.
do you sell Red Man? And the guy looked like frickin' Santa working at this convenience store, and he was like,
oh.
young lady, I ain't heard someone ask for that in quite a while. I sure wish I had some Red Man. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Goodbye.
When I first started riding the bus, one time I had my hair down and like a hat on or something, and the bus driver just said something like, "How are we doing, miss?" And then I looked up and he was like, "Mister."
Somebody was like, hey, nice tits. I mean, bitch tits, dude.
Shut up.
Bitch tits.
Oh, nice. Hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good episode.
That was great.
Oh jeez, man!
Oh, my.
Wow!
Wow. Okay, you guys.
what a-
Well,
What a
Yeah,
good
and that's what she
time.
said to me.
this was
Yeah, wow.
So
Wow.
this was a great episode. Like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, follow us. Also, if you have any scary stories or anything you want to share with us, if you have a scary itch you want us to scratch, send it to scaryitches@gmail.com and subscribe.
Don't you-
Like and subscribe.
Don't you dare forget about the YouTube page.
The YouTube page that has one video on
It
it.
has 3 videos.
Oh, fuck me.
Goodbye, everybody.
Gordy Little, get out of my house before I kill you.
What?
Hustle and
Hustle
bustle.
and bustle.
Hustle and bustle.